Richard Iritano is in New York. Richard, interesting. I mean, one aspect that's come out over the past 20 minutes is this difference between being poor and being humble, because if you're poor or humble, you can still have pride.
Well, everybody can have pride, and as I've always said, optimism is a cognitive stance. But there is real hope for change and development and growth, but it also has to be something that is discussed with our leadership. Jobs, consumerism. In this country, in the United States, for example, we no longer have a manufacturing base, and alternately, we must rely now on countries like China, Malaysia, other third world and developing nations. But where to fill the gap here? Where's the void to be filled from many employees who've had a cradle-to-grave position in factories, and they've earned a substantial living, and now they're earning, corporate wage slavery. We must address as a nation what the White House and Congress must address. What new developments can we achieve in biochemics and green energy and sources that can retrain people, because there's a great disparity, because corporations today, the Industrial Revolution paved the way for nothing more than modern-day corporate sweatshops today, and we have to address corporate wage slavery, corporate greed, and corporate welfare. And if we don't address those issues...
Just to boil all that down, do you have a question for Virginia, perhaps, in Sierra Leone?
Well, given that Virginia lives in Sierra Leone and resources are limited there, and I don't know what kind of an industry, since I've never visited Western Africa. I have visited other parts of Africa that have better development and a better standard of living, but I know in Sierra Leone right now there are many indigent people and the poverty rate is abysmal. And it all stems down to government leadership. What can the leaders do? For example, when President Obama is going to be meeting in Davos, Switzerland every year, all the leaders of the world meet with George Soros and the International Monetary Fund. What are they really discussing for effective change? To me, I just see a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Just let me distill that down for Virginia in Sierra Leone. Virginia, the question from New York is basically this: what do you want from your politicians? What do you need from the people who run your country so that you can get out of being in such a bad situation? I think we've lost Freetown in Sierra Leone. We will go back to her if we can. Let's talk to Siyama Ismail, who's joining us via webcam in Nairobi. Siyama, I understand you live on roughly $1 per day. Most of us would find that pretty difficult. How do you manage it?
I manage because I was born in a slum and I've grown up there, and living $100 Kenya shillings per day is like almost like golden in where I come from, because there are people who live below that. And from what I do, the 100 Kenya shillings of that $1 is my profit for the day. And I try as much as I can to live by it.
Okay. I'm going to put to you the same question that we were trying to put to Virginia in Sierra Leone there from Richard Iritano in New York. What do you need, what do you want from your politicians to make your life better?
First and foremost, we have political inheritance in Kenya. This is a disease that has affected almost everybody, even us who come from the slums. What we do is that we never believe that we can make good politicians, or even we can rule Kenya. So we believe that if a father has been a politician in a very, very long time, we always say that the child of that father, the son to that father or the daughter to that father, can also make a good politician just like the parents. So we never get out of the political inheritance stigma. So I would very, very much like to tell maybe everybody else outside there, politics runs in the family, yes, but there are other people outside the family who can do much better in politics than that particular family. So if you get out of that, I think that will be the first step of moving towards fighting poverty.
Do you believe the wealth gap in your country can be closed?
Is maybe being for the rich or the wealthiest in the country to at least try and wear the shoes of those poor people in the same country. Because mostly, I believe that, like where I come from in Kibera, we are the ones who hold three quarters of the people who live in Kibera are the ones who work in the industries. So if at all we can be given a chance, then I think that we'll come out of that poverty.
Jermaine in Uganda has posted on Facebook to say wealth is not bad if you acquire it through your own sweat. The problem is those who get it through dubious means. Let's just give the very last thought, very briefly, Richard Eritano in New York City. The reality is this is not going to happen anytime soon, Richard, despite what you want from your president, is it?
No, it's not likely, because the leadership, unfortunately, not only in this country but in other countries as well, is fake and failed. I'm sorry to say that it is staged,
Richard,
stilted,
I'm going to have to
contrived.
stop you, for which I apologize. Don't forget the blog, worldhaveyoursay.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.